Hello. I am not doing good with weekly updates, so I just wanted to give a mid-month update. The last time you saw me, I was making my February TBR. Since then, I have read 4 books from that TBR I made, and 1 not on the TBR. The first book that I finished was Front Runner, which is about Mira and Stefan. Mira is the vet at the ranch that our main characters are from, and Stefan is a competing owner. And the ranch that Mira works at, he is not very liked there because of things that happened earlier in this series. So she kind of sees him as off limits. My favorite part about this book was the character development, because we have Stefan, who has gone through a lot in his life, and usually it seems like he gets the shit end of the stick. So he really goes through a lot. And then we have Mira, who is like stuck inside of herself and afraid to like show who she really is, and she also develops a lot. The character development, I really liked these characters and they grew a lot, but other than that it was just kind of boring and fell a little flat. I mean, things were happening, but they were not super interesting. There was a lot of talking, but it was just like, I don't know, kind of boring. And then I rated that one 3 stars. And then I read Quicksilver, and Quicksilver, if you don't know, is a romantasy, and it's set in the Fae world. Basically, this girl, she is a human who lives in the human world, and in that human world, it's kind of like a chaotic storm dystopian world, very much like class system and all of these things. But she actually has an ability to use Quicksilver to travel to different places, and she can do other stuff with it, but that's like the main one. So she is being prosecuted for something she did, and she ends up activating the Quicksilver, and a man comes through and saves her and then takes her back with him to try and help their world, because their world is also a chaos storm. It was a very unique system. Like, I feel like the magic was unique and all of that stuff. Kingfisher was the male main character, and he kind of just felt like a placeholder, you know, like insert typical Fae male shadow daddy here. I mean, she gave us what we wanted with that. 4.5 stars. It was my book club book pick. Next book comes out in November. Excited. And then I read Indigo Ridge, which I rated 4 stars. These characters I'm in love with. Like, I want to meet them in real life. I think they're so cool. Obviously, it's a romance. It's like the overarching plot, but the subplot in this book was super intriguing, and just, it was so easy to read and get through because of that. I read A Language of Dragons, and I was disappointed. I rated it 2 stars, which is unheard of. I don't give out that rating. It was very meh. It was very meh. I did not love the characters. I only liked one character, and it was a sub-character. And in fact, the point of view, our main character, the point of view, she was so annoying. She was a coward. She was like not a good person, you know, like she did some really shady things, and she eventually owns up to it, but it's way too late. It was like for no reason. There was a reason for it, but it was just like to get into school early. It was for pride, basically. So she really annoyed me. And also the guy that she like claimed to love throughout the whole book, their romance wasn't very believable. And then at the end it got really weird, and then there was something that happened at the end, and it just further proved the point that that was not a love connection. Once You're Mine, which is a stalker romance. This one was hard for me to rate because I feel like you cannot rate like a smutty book like this on the same level as you rate like Throne of Glass. Like, it's just like comparing potatoes to meat. Like, it's not going to match up. I rated it for what it was. Really, in my head, I was thinking 2.75 stars, but the things that it were lacking were kind of a lot, but it's like typical things to lack for these kind of books. Like, I feel like we were missing part of the plot, just like some little details that I feel like could have been better put together. The ending felt rushed. Like, there was a plot twist thrown in the ending that was just kind of like put there. We didn't have any lead up to it. Like, I just kind of felt like writing it to write it. Like, it didn't really go in there. The characters are likable, but they were lacking depth. Like, they were already perfect in their heads, so there wasn't anything for them to develop. It was enjoyable, easy to read. The dialogue was there, you know, so like I ended up rating it 3 stars. I'm currently reading Golden Sun. I'm 100 pages in. If you don't know, this is the second book in the Red Rising trilogy. Red Rising, it's like a sci-fi dystopian. The plot is so good. Very glad that this is the second book because I'm getting through it much quicker than I did the first book. The writing style is so unique. It's like a simple sentence followed by like an eloquent sentence, or like a simple paragraph followed by a paragraph with a lot of depth. And like, he doesn't just like come out and say the action that's happening. It's like implied. Also reading Cirque Obscurum, which is like a dark romance, circus themed dark romance, and I think it might be Why Choose too. But I was shocked by that. I got 20% in very quickly because it was super interesting. I started listening to the audiobook of Saving Six. I don't know if it's the audiobook or just the plot in general, but it's been a struggle for me to get through it. Maybe I'll probably just try to pick it up and read it on my Kindle, and maybe that'll help me get through it. I loved Keeping 13. Like, I loved the first 2 books. They were so good. So I know I was just complaining about not getting to all the books on my TBR, but I'm gonna reread a book that's not on my TBR. This will be the first time I reread ACOTAR, and I'm just really excited about it. Part of the problem with the TBR that I drew this month is that I got Mistborn, I got Golden Sun, I got You, I got Kingdom of the Wicked, I got Quicksilver, I got a Language of Dragons. There was just a lot of serious books, especially coming off of a month where last month I read 18 books and over half of them were over 600 pages. So like, I kind of went into this month with a little bit of a book slump. Really, the TBR is just to pull books up that I haven't seen in a while, and don't get mad if I don't get through them. It's fine. It's my sad monthly progress spiel. I am excited for the books that I am currently reading. Oh, I forgot. I also reread, I have to add that to my list. I also reread The Awakening. I stopped reading Zodiac Academy like the middle of book 5 just because I had read it so fast and I needed a break. But I listened to the dramatic adaptation of the first book. That is another book that's not on my TBR. Look at this ridiculous, like, look at January. At this point in January, I was like, here. It's fine. I read too much last month was my issue. Too many serious books. I'll have more read this month off of my TBR than I had read off my TBR last month. So it's kind of a win. If you made it this far in this video, thanks for watching. I know that I am chaotic, but I genuinely like interacting with BookTube. So, you know, comment if you made it this far. Comment, let me know your favorite book you've read so far this month, just for fun. Bye.